Hi and welcome to SHIFTstream. What we're trying to do in SHIFTstream is we're trying to showcase some of the most amazing stories that we can find about people who have gone through immense challenges and adversity, and despite that, have risen above that. And not just despite it, but actually because of it. They've become the best version of themselves because of the challenges that they face. They've uplifted themselves due to these challenges and have made their lives truly remarkable. I'm really glad you're watching. For our very first interview in the series, we got to catch up with Musa Motha. Musa is an extraordinary dancer, and he has a really and truly exceptional story. Musa, it's so great to be with you and to be able to have a conversation with you. Thank you very, very much for joining me. How are you doing today?
Thank you for the
Great
invite.
pleasure.
Cool.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do at the moment?
Musa is okay. My name is Musa Motha, all the way from the Val. I'm a professional dancer, and I have addition of things that I do, like more than one. In a company that I'm working for right now currently, for Yani Dance Theater. I assist with sound technicians, and again, I'm an upcoming choreographer, and yeah, I recently got like a new position this year, which is junior dancer, from apprentice and being a trainee for 2 years. So this is my 3rd year. So yeah, this is Musa.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for the info, and congratulations on the recent promotion. I'm almost surprised to hear that your role is junior dancer, because I saw you dancing, and I just, the reason that I've come to meet you was through seeing you dance at one of your events with Buyani, and I thought that you were such a remarkable dancer. You are a very talented and blessed dancer. I think seeing you dance was very inspiring. What is it that you love about dancing?
The thing that I love about dancing is that I become that person that is actually unleashing a lot of things at the same time on the stage. You know, I can tell you 10,000 stories with just one movement. It will depend on how do you take it, and I become this powerful author of my book when every time I'm on stage. And again, dance gives you that freedom of expression. It's a very powerful activity that one do for healing. First of all, for healing yourself and other people, for connection. I connect with the audience. Even if I do a video, I imagine myself, with people in front of me. I imagine how am I going to portray a story, or how am I going to tell a story to a person watching me? Is the person going to understand what I'm saying, or what's up? And the very last thing that I love about dancing is that it keeps you fit and keeps you as young as you as can be. You don't get that old for a short period of time, and you're always healthy. And yeah.
So you're a really talented dancer, and despite your age, you seem to be using dance as a platform to leverage into a variety of different opportunities, from sound to choreographing. That's quite remarkable as well. So I think your ambitions are about the future. Your future, you see your future in the world of dance, but you're diversifying into different opportunities there.
Yeah.
That's very, very cool. That's very, very cool. I think that the main reason I wanted to chat to you is that you're not just this exceptional dancer, and you've got an amazing story, right? So tell us a little bit more about that. Can you share with me your story and some of your background?
Okay. It's such a long story, but I'll keep it short. So I'm an amputee dancer, and I'm a cancer survivor. I was diagnosed with cancer called osteosarcoma in 2007. Um, and the time that they got or they discovered that I have cancer, it was very too late, and I couldn't just continue with the treatment without the amputation. So they had to actually make me or make my family make the decision. But I was brave enough, and I was brave enough to make that decision that, you know what, mom, like I've been on bed and I've been transferred from hospital to hospital for like a year now, and there's nothing that is happening. So the only thing that we can do now is to actually amputate the leg. And yeah, she didn't take it well because she's a parent, and I honestly understand what was she going through by that time. And yeah, it was not easy for my family. The journey was not smooth. I don't want to lie. And after that amputation, I guess my belief was so strong that I I was not like I was not that weak. I couldn't let any situation come by and just break me down or defeat me. Because I was young enough to think about um what might happen tomorrow. What is it that I want in life? Those things happen in like a short period of time, and then I had to make drastic decisions for myself. I was always thinking about what is it that I want, and I want to go outside and play with other kids, but I can't if I still keeping if I'm still keeping this leg on. So I just need to amputate it. Okay, cool. Then the amputation went through, and the surgery was perfect. um yeah, after the surgery, after the amputation, I had to start with my therapy, chemotherapy, the treatment of cancer. And yeah, I took it for like a year. It was not smooth. I was not a superhero. And yeah, there were times where I'd say, when every time I think about those stories or those periods, I break down even now. But I now have a story to tell, and actually it's actually remarkable, and it actually inspires myself as well, that you went through such things, meaning even if there's more coming, man, you can still do it. So yeah, got my amputation, went through the chemo always come with its consequences. It helps you, but it really hurt you at the same time. you know my eyeballs became yellow. I couldn't see well. You can't pee at the same time. At some times, your hair just fall off. um, a lot of things happen because the treatment itself, chemotherapy, burns your cells. It doesn't choose that I'm going to these specific cells, so it burns everything on your body cells, and your skin cells, they actually get more affected. I remember that there's this 1 week I was actually deformed, like you couldn't see that it's me here. you know my face was round, I was swollen everywhere. I didn't have this layer even under my feet. you know so when every time I touch something, it's sticky and painful. And
Wow.
I was bleeding nonstop with my nose. Um, and again, the other thing was I'd get like maybe a 5 second or 10 second period where I'd be like blind, like completely blind, like I couldn't see. I just
Wow.
see black thing. And the other thing is that you actually lose your psychological mindset. You actually lose it. You see things, you talk about things that people don't understand. And yeah, that's what chemo does to you. And then I managed
Sure.
to go through it. you know so after the chemotherapy, my treatment, I finished. And yeah, it was time for me to face the real world. Started to go to school. Continued from my previous school. Didn't want to change the school. I just wanted to face whatever that is coming. And I guess I prepared myself for a whole lot of things, discriminations and stuff, because when every time I get like such negative comments, they just bounce back, like bounce back, couldn't penetrate. Even now, like I don't know how to, But yeah, I went to school. Um, Started in grade 5 because when I started getting sick, I was in grade 4, so they actually promoted me to grade 5, and yeah, I was already 2 years behind. So yeah, at the time when I was actually doing grade 5, my peers were doing grade 7. So yeah, that kind of broke me down. But I was like, nah, you know what? If I want to race with these people, I'm already behind. So right now, what I need to focus on is the speed that I have, that I can actually um, race with. So it was about focusing on myself. So yeah, primary went by, and then in grade 7 or in grade 6, I actually discovered that I can do stuff. I started with being a DJ. I was a DJ, and I managed to do a whole lot of things. Um, with my first year of being a DJ, I went to Red Square DJ Knockout, and I managed to make it in the top 5 provincial. And the other thing, I started producing music. That's why I started to understand what is music and what is music made of. Um, and again, so there was this time I was DJing, and then I was in the neighborhood, and my friends were all dancing, and I was the only one who doesn't dance. And I was like, nah, man, you know what? Just teach me how to dance. Do this and do that. And then, fortunately enough, they taught me how to dance. They threw stuff. They threw lines on the ground, and then they asked me, use your left crutch as your left leg. I'm like, okay, cool. I can do this. And then I managed to do some few steps, and I was like, I thought about it through all night. I was like, nah, man, you know what? I can do this. And then I started to take it serious. Joined the crew, and then we did some routines. And then it started to get serious now. Yeah, from a street dancer, I actually went to join a crew in Sebokeng, Zone 14, by the street beat. Um, Back then it was fire. And I joined the crew. It was called Pens and Entertainment. So yeah, that's where a lot of things started. Started to tour. Started to shoot music videos. Started to go to competitions, and then I remember in 2014 I was in grade 11. Yeah, and then we actually entered the competition at Red Square dance competition, dance knockout, and then yeah, we won. We took the first place, and yeah, we won under our genre, which was Ispujo, and then we won the overall of the competition. So we won twice in one competition. It was crazy, man.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So yeah. To continue, after that, I was feeling like, you know what, I'm reaching the peak where I was like, I don't know what to do now, because I only knew how to do hip hop, Pantula and Ispuja. So I wanted to explore more, dance at the larger space. And then yeah, on top of that, before I can even go further, we shot music videos, and one of the biggest project we did is being the main dancers at in Drake music video when he was in South Africa. Yeah, we were the main dancers there, and yeah, that was a breakthrough for me, I think. Because after that, I got like calls, I got invites from big companies. Yeah, and then I have a mentor, Itumele Hlapani, and that guy is an amazing guy. He actually introduced me to a company that I'm working for right now. So he told me about it, and then I was like, I'm interested. And lucky enough, in that week, we were talking about the company. They were hosting auditions. So I went there and then I attended auditions. It was a 2 days audition. And then I managed from the first day, I managed to make it to the second day. Um, then, yeah, I joined the company, and the company is actually about it's about African contemporary, but we do everything. The creative director and the founder of the company, Gregory Makoma, he actually uses his technique, and he says his technique is a cocktail because he mixes everything in it. You can do pantula and ballet at the same time. We can do everything, Afrofusion with classical ballet or classical contemporary. And it's great. It's I guess like that's where I started to open up my mind more, that
Absolutely.
in this dance industry I can actually do everything. So now if a hip hop dancer come through like, yeah, let's do this pop lock, I can do it. If a classical ballerina comes through and like, hey, let's do this and that, give me tandus, and I can do all of that. You know what I mean? Let's do 3 times, I do 5. So yeah, so that's where
Um,
everything like started to come through, and yeah, until where I am now.
it's amazing. I don't know where to begin in unpacking some of this with you, but I just have to start off by saying that your story is so remarkable, to be a young man and go through such immense challenge, and then to find your journey after that challenge, to have that resilience, to not let it break you, but instead to amplify it into this amazing career and success, is so inspiring. And I want to speak to you about some of those features of yourself that kind of made you so resilient. But I first want to ask you just about your dancing now. I think the reason that I saw you and became aware of you was that I actually saw you dancing at an event. And at that recent event, I remember you having all these different styles of dance that you were incorporating. And you were actually basically featured. You did like a dance solo, if I remember. And your solo was so moving that I was blown away. I was blown away seeing you dance. And I think just that visual sight of you dancing with crutches has changed my whole thinking on life. So just that visual image of you doing this thing actually changed my perception on life. And I'm sure that you have that effect on everyone who sees you dancing. It's so powerful. That image is so powerful because not only your constraints and your limitations that you have completely obliterated, but what must go into that? The balance, the mindset to become such a great dancer in the face of adversity. So I know I've said a lot here, but what are your thoughts on how did you do that? How did you become a great dancer that can, encapsulate all these many styles in the face of such adversity?
It depends on the intentions. I remember that when I started to do ballet and contemporary, before that I was a street dancer, and I used both my crutches to dance. Yeah. So now when I got there, they were using every part of the body. With hip hop, I don't use my hands. I just use you know, my leg, and whenever time I use my hands, I just, you know, raise my crutches and stuff. But when I got there, the thing that actually changed my mindset was I always need to adjust to things. And then again, making an excuse, it's not an option, because at Vuyani Dance Theatre, I mean, there's no um like spoon feeding and stuff. They give you the straight order. This is what we need, and this is how maybe you can do it. Come up with options. And then the very first thing that came in my mind was when the director or the teacher was teaching in front, when he actually made us go into a barber. I was using my crutches, and in both my crutches, I was holding both of them. And then he shifted to the right. He was like, let's shift to the right. And now I need to hop, you know. And in that's where I actually started to, my mind actually started to create some specific codes. Like, Musa, at this moment, let's try to be smart about this, you know. What is that you have? What is it that you can do? You know, so now I'm using whatever that I have. So at the first thing that I did, I got rid of one crutch, and then when they use two hands, two arms, I just use one, and then with this other one on my left, I just hold it as my leg, you know, and then that's where I started to get the clear picture of what is it that I need to be, you know, and again it goes with the gravity. I have like a stable relationship, a strong, close relationship with the gravity. Without the gravity, man, like without understanding the gravity, I guess I wasn't gonna be the dancer that I am today, you know, because I know if I have to do a turn, I can't do it the same. I can't do it the same as the person who have two legs, you know, because now,
Absolutely.
yeah, the momentum is not the same, the weight is not the same, yeah. So I need to think about myself. That's why I started to actually study how does this gravity work. And as a person, as you're standing vertically, what does it have? What does it? How does it affect you? You know, and then yeah, I guess that journey helped me to be the person I am today. And uh, the main thing is that I don't actually let any obstacle defeat me. So if I don't get something, I get mad at myself. You know, and I always want to have options. I get so persistent and I get so impatient with myself that I actually come up with possible solutions to do some stuff. You know, when every time, if let's for instance, when every time um at work we are creating a new project, you know, maybe a new piece, and then they start with the choreography. You know, they just go, let's do this and that. You know, the legs turn, what, and then on my side I need to be like extra careful of what I do. You know, and that's what happens if maybe you cautious. And again, it's about what motivates me. What motivates me is that um I don't want to let my friends down, you know. And I know, I actually, okay, I know, I don't know, no, but I know that my effect when every time I'm on stage to my audience, how is it effective, you know. So I don't want to disappoint them. So I always go for perfection. I know if I aim for perfection, I'm going to be moderate. Moderate, standard, it's cool, you know. So yeah, I guess that's how I work. It's about the mindset that I have, and the intentions, and I don't want anything that is going to stop me. I don't even believe in the word impossible. You know, I just break it that I am possible. You know, I do it every day.
I have some shivers, man. That's super cool. So your current your current feeling is that whatever future obstacles you're going to face, you mentioned that you don't feel like there are going to be major obstacles because you've overcome so much and you've almost learned. So it's almost like these experiences have made you have forged some significant inner strength in you.
Yeah.
And that inner strength feels like it can guide you into future experiences, right? I mean, you even have future written on your shirt. So you're going to be strong going into this future,
Exactly.
which is an incredible thing. But I think it sounds like to me that if we go back to what you went through, you know, as a young man, you were taken out of school, you faced all these obstacles. It sounds like you went through some very major challenges that many people don't know in their entire lifetimes. And you were just a young man, and yet you managed to have such resilience. You didn't want to. First of all, one of the things that you said that really was amazing is, despite going through this, you had empathy for how your mom was feeling, which is incredible. And then not only that, you also were able to show this resilience to all of the stuff that was going on. I mean, it's incredibly moving. It really is moving. I guess I'm wondering about where that fire comes from inside. And, you know, you must have an amazing leadership as well in your family. Like, where is this amazing fire coming from inside you that does all of this?
I guess we'll never know. But
we have to know.
I'm a strong believer and I'm a Christian, you know, and I believe that um, God has a plan for everyone, and on this earth, He actually created us with specific purposes, you know. So in every situation that He puts you in, there'll always be the best coming out of you. He can't put you in a, actually he can, but he always put us in a situation where we can defeat them, you know. And it's not about him testing us, but it's about him showing your best abilities, you know. And I believe that when every time God takes something from you, he gives you 10 times more, 100 times more better than the one he took. So I wouldn't say that he actually broke me down. He actually showed me my strength and what is it that I can do. And in with all of that, I realized how effective it is to actually be a believer and to have support structure as like family. And again, I wouldn't advise everyone to actually depend on family for support structures or from friends. You can actually create that by yourself. You know, I have, I believe that there's two Musas, you know, and there's the smart one and there's a persistent one. This persistent one is the Musa that always go for things. You know, he doesn't. He's impatient. He always wants to do stuff. You know, and this smart one, he always guide this other Musa. Okay, Musa, this is wrong. Let's do it this other way. The other Musa is like, yeah, let's do it. He does it. You know, he doesn't think he do it, and this other one thinks. So I guess it's about creating your own system in your head. How do you come up with things, and how do you actually um, how do you analyze situation so that you can come with possible solutions? And yeah, I guess it's about having a strong positive mindset and always focusing on the positive, even if you are in a you're swimming in a pool of negative situation around you. Find that one positive things. Like, even if people can say million things that are negative about you, there'll always be that one person who say, "Hey Adam, I like your classes," or I like your talk." You take that one and then you make everything about it. You make it huge, you grow it, and then you ignore the negative ones. That's how
That's
I actually.
incredible. So you've got your faith, you've got your resilience, and you've got your immense positivity as basically pillars that you build yourself on, right?
Yeah.
Which is really incredible. And are there other dancers? Is it often that there are amputee dancers out there? Have you come across other dancers who share your experience?
To be honest, no. But I was talking with this guy from Brazil. He actually want to collaborate with me, most probably after this pandemic. And there's this other one, Jinsuk. I don't know where he's from, but most of his videos are on YouTube, you know, and he's always on in New York. So I guess he's from New York. We tried to talk, but didn't get that far. And then I actually never had like an encounter or shared a stage with somebody who is an amputee. I'm open and I want to do it now, you know. Since
Yeah,
I've actually thought about it, you know, I make connections with companies that works inclusive. Um, and yeah, my director is always like he's supportive. He supports me on it. He's actually the one who initiated it to me, and he told me to think about it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I want to do it. You know. And,
it's amazing. And I mean, I thought it would be a rare thing that someone is able to really overcome their adversity in such a remarkable way. And that's why it's, for me, such a great privilege to be chatting to you about all of this. And I'm wondering tell me more about the time when you went through your amputation and you lost your leg. How did you initially feel? How did you initially go through? I mean, you must have gone through a period of loss, of mourning about that. And how did you get yourself going again? I mean, you went back to school. Was that after a long period? Was there some time when you went through all of this? And what I'd really like to know is, was there a turning point for you when you were going through this that got you to shift and to change?
First of all, I've been sick for like a year. My story starts with I was a soccer player, and then there was this one day we were playing tournament, and then I got kicked on my left knee, and then from that day onwards, I got sick. I got pains on my knee. My knee started to swell up. So that happened for like a year. So there was a point in a time where I couldn't go to school. My knee can, and it's winter, and yeah, I could get like endless pains, sharp pains. And I remember clearly that there was a time where it was a period actually for like 3-4 months where we knew, my mom and I, that every night at 11 o'clock I'm going to have pains. So when every time before we sleep, we know that we place painkillers next to us, so that when every time I get like pains, just take painkillers and sleep. You know. But yeah, that escalated to another year. That's where I started to get tired of this, and then I made peace with it. That I can't walk. There was a point that I couldn't walk. Like I'm always on bed. Like in the morning when every time I woke up, I knew that on the left side of my bed it's breakfast, and then on the right side of my bed it's lunch. I need to wait for everybody to come back. My brother from school, he went to school. My mom was working. My grandma was working. So no one could actually monitor me because they have duties to attend to, and so that actually gave me um, quality time with myself, where I think about all the negative and positive things. If what could happen if I amputate my leg? What is it that can happen if I don't? And hearing the doctor explaining how important it is for me to amputate the leg to my mom, I actually made a decision on the spot. I was like, nah, let's do it. I'm ready now. And from that day onwards, I don't believe that I had a breakdown from it, because after my amputation, I was sent to ICU because I lost a lot of blood. But the first day when I woke up and then actually felt that my leg was normal, instead of being sad and doing stuff, I was happy about it, you know. And then 2 days later, I was starting to glow. I'm like, okay, so this is actually good for me. I need to keep this in myself. And then the thing that made me get used to the new image is that I always looked at myself on the mirror so that I get used to the new me. You know, when every time people ask me like, "Oh, what happened?" Because you get people on the street that are insensitive. It's like, "Yo, what happened? Why did you decide to cut your leg?" Like, what? Why would you ask me that? But I understand we're not the same, and I'm always ready for such things. And yeah, I guess I never had the breakdown, and there's this group that I joined. It's amputees only. Like the stories that they share, I ask myself, why didn't I go through this? The pain and thinking about, oh my God, what's going to happen to me? How people are going to look at me? Um, all of those things, you know, the negative things, I never thought about them. Like, I'm asking myself, what type of person am I? Am I ignorant? But even if I was ignorant, these things, if like maybe someone would just hit me with a negative comment, it doesn't break me down. You know, it's like I have a shell, a stealth shell around me. You know, every negative thing just bounce back, and I don't know why. Like maybe I don't know, but I guess this is how I was built. You know, and I have too much belief in myself, and yeah, and I believe that I have a purpose. You know, so that's what keeps me going, I think.
It's immensely powerful. That's phenomenal. Thanks for explaining and sharing that. And some of what you said resonates with me. At early in my life, when I was about 13, I also was, due to medical reasons, unable to walk for a period of time and was taken out of school. So we have some remarkable similarities in our stories and our journeys. And I think I just didn't have that resilience that you immediately had. It took me a long time before I was able to deal with it in such a positive way. So your positivity is really amazing and very inspiring to me.
Thanks,
I,
man.
I would like to ask you, do you think you would be a dancer if this didn't happen to you? Do you think that you would have? No,
No,
that is
no.
so cool. That is so cool. I mean, I used to play soccer too, and when I had to stop playing soccer, and I loved playing soccer, I wasn't very good, I must be honest, but I loved it, absolutely loved it. And I ended up in technology because had to stop playing sports, and I ended up being at home and just playing so much with a computer that
Yeah,
it opened up my whole life into technology because of that disruption. So you feel similarly that disruption for you has created this world of dance for you.
yeah, I believe so.
It's really incredible because you have taken the very thing that could have been so negative and so problematic for you, right? And have turned it into something that not only has changed your life, but inspires just about anyone who sees you doing it to possibly change their lives, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Because I remember there was the day I actually made a decision that I I want to do this like full time. And as the day I was performing, and I actually didn't feel that performance. But when I stepped on the stage, somebody came backstage and actually he was crying. And I'm like, okay, here we go again, you know. And then that person told me his story. It was like, bruh, I'm suffering. I'm going to say it the way he said it. You know, he was like, Musa, I'm suffering. And then he changed to like, no, I was suffering from depression. And today was my last day. And I came here to have fun for the last time. And my intention was to go back home and actually commit suicide. But because of what I saw on stage right now, man, it changed my life. Today I'm going to change. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm no longer going to commit suicide and stuff. So from that day, I realized how powerful it is, my presence on stage. You know, and I wasn't even doing much on stage, but because of that guy, what he saw on stage, it really changed his life and it saved his life. So I asked myself, like, is this what God made me to do? You know, so that's why I started to take it very serious. Yeah, and then yeah, and again, funny part is that after my matric, my parents um, sent me to college to do a course, actually to further my studies. You know, so I did chemical engineering at Damelin College, and but I'm not even interested in pursuing that field even further. After doing that, I was like, no, this is not for me. I'm going back to dance. And then after that, on my journey, to a professional field of dance. I was doing business admin short courses. I finished it, and I can still take the documents out and say I did this, but I wouldn't say that I'm proud that I did them. Okay, I'm proud, but I don't use them because I don't see the necessity for me to do it. What I found here is legit. I can still do more courses. I like going to school. I like, education is power, man. But I believe
Yeah.
that your calling is more powerful than any other thing. You know. So
Yes. So you're
yeah,
following your dream, you're pursuing your passion, and that is very, very powerful.
yeah.
And what advice would you have to someone who's going through challenges of any kind in helping them to pursue that passion and that dream?
Uh, my advice would be s- like do a self introspection. Know who you are. You know and know your purpose. I know it's not easy to find your purpose, to know what is it that you are sent here to do. You know, uh, know your purpose and don't allow any obstacle to come your way. I have a slogan and I live with it every day. It says, Musa Motha doesn't believe in impossibilities. Instead, he breaks the word impossible into two. I am possible. So with that alone, it breaks a lot of barriers. And don't ever think about what other people are going to say if I don't do this. If your heart says do it, do it. You don't know why, like, tomorrow what's going to happen. We have a slogan again here at home. It says, if you think of doing something, do it at that same time. And in everything you do, do your best. Those are the ways that I live with. And again, there'll always be that person who hates you for no reason. You know, take it as, have you seen a dog barking a non-moving car? A dog always bark to moving objects. So if person hates you, meaning you are doing something with your life, you should be proud of yourself, and that should motivate you to do more. So yeah, I
That's
got
very
nothing
cool.
further to say, but yeah.
That's amazing insight. So, Musa, if I were to summarize, like, your mindset is one of great resilience, immense positivity, and if you have an obstacle, be it an external obstacle or an internal obstacle, be it someone who has made a comment that may have been insensitive or may have been negative towards you, you sort of just have a resilience. You don't allow that to penetrate your mindset. But what you said that I found so amazing is you said that you can let 1,000 things shed away from your mindset, but that one little positive thing is boosted, amplified, and reinforced in your mind, and you allow that to flourish.
Yeah,
So you kind of try and just filter out all the negativity there and get that positive latch.
exactly.
Amazing. And your phrase that you read every day, where do you read that? Do you say that to yourself? Is that an internal kind of mindset or mantra that you use?
The phrases that I use, it's actually the words that I grew up my mom telling me. She actually got it from her father, her late father, and I live with them every day. She used to tell me almost every day. Must I remember this, the family slogan? This is it. In everything you do, do your best. If you think of doing something, do it at the same time. I always live with that.
It's incredible. It's incredible. So, and it's such great wisdom.
Thanks.
I can see it's flourished for you as well. And how old are you now?
I am turning 25 next month, this year.
Amazing. And you have such great wisdom, and I really have greatly appreciated your time today to speak to me and to share your story so openly and to share your wisdom. I think it is greatly, greatly, greatly inspiring. is there anything else that you'd like to share or say generally?
I'd say during this crucial time that we're facing as a world, one just need to think about what is it that you want to do next, or do a deep self introspection. Like I said, everything happens for a reason. If this corona thing didn't come, I wasn't going to think about my financial skills. Now I'm penetrating the financial field. So everyone out there can find whatever that they can do, you know. By saying that, I mean, like, it's high time that you find something else that you can do, and don't be stuck in a comfortable space where you can actually relax and receive a salary only. You know, you always have something best out of yourself. And it'll always come back if if you are ignorant, and it will come back to catch up with you, and it won't be a good thing to do. So right now, I advise everyone out there that during this crucial time, do self introspection. Find what is it that you can do. Find the best you. Who are you, and what is it that you want to do next? What is your talent? What are your other talents? What is it that you actually hate, and how do you overcome that hatred? You know, and again, stay at home, love yourself, love your family, and yeah, love the arts and love dogs. I'm a dog lover, so yeah.
Awesome, Musa. It's like these challenges that we all face, like this current pandemic, they're like a rock upon which we can forge ourselves, But I think, Musa, in your case, I think you are the rock. It's been it's been such an awesome opportunity to chat to you, and I'm very, very grateful for your time. I want to say a huge thank you, and thank you for your inspiring story. Thank you for your resilience in getting back on stage so many times that you can continue to move and inspire people. That story that you shared about that person whose life was changed, you basically saved that person's life through the decisions and choices that you took to be positive through your resilience and to forge yourself, which is absolutely inspiring. So, Musa, thank you so much.
Thank you for the invite. It really means a lot.